We're dear mother boys and girls. It is your boy Sniper West coming at you here from WizardSportsPicks.com, and this is another edition, the Friday edition this time, of the Wizards Crystal Ball. And I am here with the Wiz himself. It is Friday, January 30th, 2026. Still getting used to that 2026.
There's
man.
20, no, not 26. Isn't it the 30th?
Yeah, January 30th, 2026. Right? Yeah, it's almost February. Time flies when you're having fun, let me tell you. But we are here to talk about Super Bowl props. By the way, if you can like and subscribe to this video, it does help our analytics. We would appreciate it. And don't forget to go over the website as well, wizardsportspicks.com. I have a 3-pack up today, Friday. I'm sure this video will be up on Friday. So I have a college basketball play, an NBA play, and a hockey play. If you guys want to go check me out, I've been on fire. I've been on a tear in all sports, really. So Sniper West over at the website. A lot of other great handicappers over there as well. So wizardsportspicks.com, the #1 sports consultant in the industry. And we are going to be talking Super Bowl props today. And we are going to play the first edition ever of Guess That Line, which is a little game that Wiz and I came up with. Should be quite fun. And just, in regards to the Super Bowl, still the line really hasn't moved, Wiz. We're still looking at 4.5. There is a 5. South Point has a 5, which coincidentally is 1 block away from me. I think Fanatics had a 5 too, but it looks like it's still pretty much 4.5 everywhere. I saw some 46s pop up, but I see 45.5 all over town now. I know you said you hadn't really made up your mind as far as a lean on total or side. Are you still contemplating or thinking you might pass on this game?
Well, the only thing that I've done personally, and I don't recommend it, is I've hooked up. I looked for a real strong college play, and I teased it with the team that I like. I won't lay 4.5 or 5 with Seattle, but the way I did it was I liked the game very much yesterday. NC Wilmington against Towson. I really loved NC Wilmington. And
me too.
So,
what a coincidence.
Yeah,
I actually really like that game too.
Actually Towson's head coach is my good friend. We haven't talked throughout the season. We hang out at Saratoga, but
Nice.
I had to bet against him yesterday, and I really thought that NC Wilmington was the better team. Their body of work was better, and they had some good matchups in their favor. And they also a revenge motive from last year. So what I did was where I bet I get a 4 points on a college hoops game and 6 on the NFL. So I made a nice bet on a teaser taking NC Wilmington plus what was it, like 6.5.
Right.
And then I took Seattle plus 1.5.
There you
So
go.
I'm alive with Seattle plus 1.5. And I have a couple basket games. I have one tonight and one. I hopefully. The problem is if you lose one, you're screwed in a way.
Yeah.
But so I'm very careful the spots that I play. But I don't have an opinion on the Super Bowl itself right now. I'm not going to lay the 4.5, 5, and the total I have no opinion on right now.
Yeah, I was on Wilmington last night too. The Wilmington Seahawks defeated the Towson Tigers. I pride myself in trying to know all the mascots of all these teams, even the smaller schools and everything. I might be putting myself on the spot because I'm thinking about Sacred Heart, and do I know?
Yeah, what is it?
Yeah, you know what? And I think I might have stumped myself. The Sacred Heart. I don't think I know Sacred Heart. I better do my homework, huh?
Well, I'll give you a hint. He's called Pio. P-I-O.
Yeah, man, I'm drawing a blank on Sacred Heart.
Okay, so there's Sacred Heart Pioneers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's Pio. So in my next life, I want that job because it's actually pretty cool. But I've never seen who the guy is underneath that get up. But
yeah,
how hard with that? I hope they paying him well because 2 hours in that suit. Where's the air coming in? I mean, I don't know what the guy is like after the game.
Yeah, it's funny. One of my mentors in this business, I will not mention their name, but they were that guy. Was they were
Really?
actually, I won't say what the mascot is too, because that might give it away, but they had to, it was actually, it's a pretty popular college basketball program, and they do not have a football program. That's the only hint I'll get.
Okay.
Now, I'll tell you off air what the school is, but
Okay.
he had to wear the suit, and he was the mascot for the team, and he had pictures. He showed me pictures. This was 20 years ago, because he's older
Right.
now. But yeah, I know somebody who was that guy, so it's pretty funny, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a football show. Let's get back to football. We're talking Super Bowl props, so let's go ahead and get any of these props, Wiz. So you have 3 to give out.
I have three,
Okay,
and I have not looked at any of. I don't even know what it is. Okay.
Cool. So why don't we go ahead and start with yours? And
Okay. So the three I have, the line when you have to lay the price or you get the price, I'm saying, I would never lay anything over 130, 135. So I don't know if I'll just give you the number of, so it's a yards rushing on the first one.
Okay.
Kenneth Walker. And
Okay.
I'm guessing 60, what did I write down? 68 yards.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is your official guess. You want to go one by one, or you want to give me all 3 now?
I'll give you all 3. So Kenneth Walker, 68 yards. Rhamondre Stevenson, 62 yards. And Jason Smith-Njigba, 8 receptions. So those are my 3. And I have no clue what the odds are or the line is.
Okay. Well, let me tell you this. You are going to, according to what you told me, you were going to want to take the under on Kenneth Walker. You were going to want to take.
What is it?
It's 74. So it's 74 minus 110 at DraftKings. Now, keep in mind, these might vary from book to book. I'm looking at DraftKings currently. And it's funny with DraftKings, you can buy it to different numbers too. But if you're looking at the minus 110 line where they think it's going to hit, it's going to be 74 even for Kenneth Walker.
Right. Okay. I mean, I think that's a 6-point buffer. I would suggest that. That's not a bad play.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because they actually give you their average yards per game. He's only averaging 63.4 yards per game, but they're hanging a 74 here. So they think he's going to get more involved. That could be because of Charbonnet, their other running back is not playing. Now, granted, they brought somebody up, and I don't, from the practice squad or the third string running back or whatnot. It won't be all Kenneth Walker. Somebody else will be getting some carries too. But maybe that might go into their thinking that he's going to be featured more because of no Charbonnet. So that could be one of the reasons why it might be higher. But there you go. So you're probably leaning under on Kenneth Walker Jr. the third.
Right.
So Rhamondre Stevenson. So you got 62, correct?
Yes.
So we're looking at 52. At minus 110 for Rhamondre Stevenson. So you would be leaning over in this instance.
Right. So I'm 10 yards off on that one. Okay.
Yeah, he actually only averages 46.9 yards per game, and they have him it's not too much higher, 52. So, it's funny. According to these odds, I mean, in their averages, the odds makers think both the running game is going to be featured more. Just according to their averages and the numbers they're putting up, so to speak. As it relates to Jackson Smith-Njigba or JSN.
I have 8 receptions.
There's receiving yards, rush plus receiving yards. Here, let me back out of this. I need to find receivers. Receiving props. Here we go. And this is yardage. Okay, so Jackson Smith-Njigba. What was your number again?
It's 8 receptions for one laying more than 120.
You, my friend, are they actually 8. They have it right on 8, but so 8. It's weird because they're not laying the hook, but they're saying 8 or more is plus 128.
Okay, so that's a good play. I like that play. Of the 3 plays, that's the one I like best.
Beautiful. Yeah, you could. I mean,
because I'll take the price. I'll take the price.
You'll take that plus money. Absolutely. Yeah, with DraftKings, it's you can move it down and buy. So, like for example, if you wanted 7 or more, you can get minus 138. If you wanted 6 or more, minus 270. But you're laying too much juice at that point. So yeah.
No, I'm liking that. The JSN 8 receptions plus money.
Yeah, and you got to figure they're going to be looking with no Charbonnet as well, because Charbonnet was their goal line back, right? So because no Charbonnet, maybe they'll be looking to throw the ball a little bit more, short yardage into the end zone. But we all know how that works out with Seattle, the Seattle Seahawks throwing it at the goal line, right, in the Super Bowl.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think there's going to be some play action. And, I think Darnold will roll out and he'll hit, JSN on some passes. They have a very good relation. First of all, he's a great receiver, but they have a good rapport with one another. It's a very successful combination.
Yeah, absolutely.
As we've seen throughout the season.
Absolutely. So speaking of Sam Darnold rolling out, you read my mind, Wiz. It's like you are a clairvoyant or maybe even a wizard. Speaking of Sam Darnold rolling out, I have 2 Sam Darnold props that I will go over here. Now, I'm going to make you, unfortunately, you're going to have to guess the line again, Wiz. Normally, this is how I would guess the line, but the problem is because I liked the prop, I was doing some research on it, and I saw the numbers, so I already know the numbers. But I'll let you guess. I'll put you on the spot. You can guess the prop.
Okay.
So because I do think that Sam Darnold will roll out, and they will not necessarily utilize his legs, but they've been rolling him out occasionally, and the more they do it, the more chances he has to scramble for some yards here. But I'm looking at Sam Darnold over rushing yards. Okay, what do you think maybe his over rushing yards will be?
23.
Okay. Yeah. It's only, believe it or not, it's only 7. 7 rushing yards for Sam Darnold. He doesn't do it that often, but I will say he is doing it a lot more in the latter half of the season. 75% of his rushing attempts have come in the second half of the year. So
what is he averaging in the second half of the year?
I had that number. I think, let's just do it game by game. Let's look at his rushing yards. We'll look at versus the Rams. We'll see how many he rushed versus the Rams. So Seattle rushing, Sam Darnold. He had 9 yards rushing versus the Rams.
Okay.
So we go back to the game. We go to the game before that against the 49ers when they blew them out, right? So we look at Sam Darnold rushing yards. He did not rush the ball at all. Okay. Granted, they were blowing the 49ers out in that game, though, right? Let's look at the game before that. We played the Niners too. This was the last game of the regular season. Sam Darnold rushed for 9 yards.
He's never had one in the 20s, right? He's never had one, right?
Doesn't appear to be so. So rushing Sam Darnold 2 yards the game before that. So yeah, it's been 2, 9, 7.
Yeah, so I'm way out of whack. I just see him rushing a little bit here and maybe breaking one. I don't know. I do.
Yeah, no, I do too, which is why I like to play. So it's over 7 yards. So yeah, that's my first play. Sam Darnold over 7 rushing yards. Okay. So my second play is going to be correlated, right? We call them correlated plays. Now I'm not going to put in a parlay only because number one, you cannot. I don't think you can parlay his rushing attempts to his rushing yards. I don't think they'll let you do that. But I do like his over rushing attempts. Okay, so how many times do you think he's going to run the ball? That's the question, Wiz.
I would say 3 to 4.
Okay.
In that range.
Okay.
3. Yeah. Okay. I'll take 4.
Okay. So DraftKings is hanging at 2.5.
Okay.
So, and I do like the over, but I actually like the over for another reason. Not that he's going to take off and run, Wiz, but they might win this game. They're favored by 4.5 points. And did you know, you probably do know this, but the kneel down at the end of the game counts as a rush.
Really?
Right? Yes. So if he kneels the clock out at the end of the game, that's a rush. He could do it. He could do that 3 times at the end of the game, and it hits right there. Now, the problem with that, he's going to lose a yard every time he does that, which goes against my 7+ rushing yards. Right.
Okay.
So that can work for me or against me.
You won't mind it if you bet Seattle. If he's kneeling down.
Yes, that is true. But
I
yeah,
mean,
no,
no, I mean, not really, because they can win and not cover the spread.
that is true too. Yeah, and then
So
you
yeah,
yeah, you kind of middle yourself out of that one. It's a reverse middle, so to speak. They call it a Polish middle, by the way, when you do the middle the wrong way. I heard that from our buddy Scott Steen back in the day. But well, anyway, well, that was a lot of fun. We're guessing some props. Maybe we can do that again on Monday. Well, obviously, we're focusing on the Super Bowl. Wiz and I are going to be doing the Wizards Crystal Ball every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Moving forward, even after the Super Bowl, there's still some stuff to talk about. Then we have March Madness coming up. I'm sure we'll do a lot of shows. And as it relates to college basketball, Wiz is a college basketball connoisseur. And yeah, that should be a lot of fun as well. Let me ask you this question. So we're talking about props, Wiz. We'll just talk college hoops real quick on the way out. What's your feeling on college basketball players and their props? Because, a lot of people say they should take them down because, the mafia or whoever gets to these kids and pays them money to, tank and not shoot that well or whatnot. What's your feeling on props for college kids?
I don't like it. I just don't like it. I think there's enough to bet and wager on. I don't like the environment we're in with, what we're seeing. It's really bad. It's pretty ugly. I don't like it.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I like the game, the total, I like the line. Like the totals are really hard, but I like just the plain lines. I don't think you have to go into player props. The NBA, you could forget that. I mean, that's obviously, that could, but no, I don't like them personally.
Yeah. Yeah, back in the day before they even did player props, I'm going back to the 90s even. I know there was a kid from either Arizona or Arizona State who got popped, throwing games. And it's happened, often enough, more often than we would like to see, even before DraftKings and FanDuel and all these player props came out. But a lot of these kids, not all of them make the NIL money that others do. So some are looking to make a buck, and it's just kind of easy in the gambling phase that we're in as a country. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
But anyway, so that was the Wizards Crystal Ball, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back on Monday with another edition. We'll probably play Guess That Line again. That was a lot of fun. It's interesting seeing how spot on we are on some of these and how off we are, right?
Yeah.
It makes you feel like, oh, wow, really? I had that completely wrong. But then
there's so many props. There's so many props. Like it's ridiculous that, and like I gave 3 out, and the only one I'll consider betting really is the 8 receptions.
JSN, right?
Yeah. That's the one I would give out.
Yeah, I was not to be long-winded, but I was, talking about all the other props, the fun ones, right? Like the national anthem and the Gatorade color and all that. I was reading yesterday that Charlie Puth, he's a pop star. He's doing the national anthem, and he's already been quoted in the media as saying that he wants to do it up big and he wants to do it better than Whitney Houston did it back in that 92 Super Bowl in Tampa. Meaning, what does that mean? I hear an over on the national anthem, right? He wants to be nice and slow, and he wants to drag it out and use his falsetto and his vibrato, right? So,
who is your favorite off the bat? Who is your favorite national anthem that you enjoyed most?
Okay, so I was 12 years old when Whitney did that, but I've seen YouTube videos of her, and man, let me tell you what, that woman had some pipes on her. She can definitely sing, so she's got to probably be up there top 3. I remember Ray Charles did it, I think, in the Rams Titans Super Bowl in Atlanta, and that was pretty cool.
I have one.
Yeah, who's that?
Marvin Gaye.
Was that the Super Bowl or was that the NBA All-Star game?
Maybe it was the NBA All-Star. I don't know.
Yeah,
whatever it was, I love Marvin Gaye.
Yeah. No, I remember. Yeah. No, he did like an R&B version with like a beat behind it, right?
Yeah.
That was the NBA All-Star game. But no, kudos. That was actually still really cool. He kind of made it, R&B, soulful, so to speak, right? It was pretty cool. They had a pretty cool beat behind it. But anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, we digress. That was another episode of the Wizards Crystal Ball. My name is Sniper West. Don't forget to go over to the website, wizardsportspicks.com. All sorts of great handicappers over there and cool stuff going on. Please like and subscribe to this video as well. It does help our analytics. And we hope you guys have a fantastic weekend and beat the you-know-what out of your bookie. And we will see you guys next week with another edition of the show. And yeah, let's roll, Wiz. Let's do it.
Yep.
Peace out and keep firing.